Here in Hoover is one of only 3 independent housing options for people living with a traumatic brain injury. Coming up, hear how the costs add up and what it means for people impacted by head injuries. For the 16,000 people living with traumatic brain injuries in Alabama, there's a shortage of living options for them. Some have to live with family, friends, or risk homelessness. Some end up in prison and others in a mental health institution. Scott Powell is the executive director of the Alabama Head Injury Foundation, and he knows the growing problem that has few solutions.
There are very few housing options. It is probably the most common question that we get.
The Alabama Head Injury Foundation is a statewide nonprofit. Part of its mission is to help meet the needs of people and families struggling with traumatic brain injuries. Partnership with companies are one solution.
We were very fortunate back about 20 years ago to partner with an independent living company to get 3 apartment complexes built, one in Florence, one in Hoover, and one in Mobile, that is specifically designed to allow people with brain injury to live with one another.
Community, belonging, identity. Powell says those concepts are amplified by the disconnect from a traumatic brain injury. These are highlighted when you talk to residents such as Kevin Beeson, who lives at Patton Ridge Apartments in Hoover.
People need to know about how hard and serious this brain injuries can be. It's really sad you can get used to being messed up.
Beeson grew up an Auburn and Bo Jackson fan. Kevin spends his days talking with others, watching movies, and accepting there's some confusion.
I get lost a lot of times too. I forget what I said.
Accepted into one of those apartments doesn't mean smooth sailing.
Every year living here, we have to give recertification. They want to know how much we're paying on meds.
Each year, every resident has to reapply for housing and fill out this form from Alabama's Housing and Urban Development Department. The form is 14 pages long and requires references, bank records, household information, and other financial data. It's a lot for anyone to submit properly, but especially for someone living with a traumatic brain injury.
I'm still paying my rent, so what's it matter? They're getting a certain percentage of my income. That's all that should matter.
Kevin is on a fixed income from Medicaid and Medicare. The injuries he sustained from his accident keep him from working to earn an income.
I'm very fortunate. I make about $2,500 a month, and but after medical bills and rent, it's about gone.
Fortunate, despite the circumstances, because Kevin has a place to call his own. For the University of Alabama, I'm Ryan Ivey, reporting.